Coming up on Central News, OD is towering above the city. Heart, The Foreigner and Three Dog Night are set to rock the Coromandel, and Jet Sprint, the ins and outs. Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Friday, the 23rd of January. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Mount Maunganui artist Owen Dippie is at it again, creating a new piece that will cover 6 stories of Harrington House. It could be his last commissioned piece in Tauranga before the talented artist and his wife Erin Dippie embark on an overseas jaunt where he'll paint his way across America. Over the next 2 weeks, locals will see Owen up high on a cherry picker as he paints the goddess of love as seen in Sandro Botticelli's 1486 painting, The Birth of Venus. It's the 5th and certainly the largest at 27 metres in a series of larger-than-life public artworks that have been commissioned by economic development agency Priority One. Waikato Regional Council has approved its draft 10-year budget for consultation, which proposes increased services with a 0.2% rates increase in the first year. Council Chairperson Paula Southgate says councillors and staff have worked together to draft a progressive yet prudent plan that responds to the public's desire to improve water quality and see regional economic growth. The Council's work programme for 2015 to 16 will be delivered on a rates revenue of $80.126 million. There will be no increase in rates in 2016 to 17, and rates for 2017 to 18 are projected to rise by 0.6%. The low rates increase is due in part to the successful completion of the Protecting Lake Taupo project, which means the rate will be halved in the 2015 to 16 year and stop completely in 2016 to 17. Chiefs centenarian All Black and Sevens double Commonwealth gold medalist Liam Meeson is raising interest in rugby sevens by having $20,000 up for grabs in the inaugural Messam Indigenous Sevens competition. The competition, to be held at Memorial Park in Hautapu in Cambridge on the 21st of February, will feature 4 divisions. They are open men's, open women's, under 20 men's and under 20 women's grades. Each category will be limited to 8 teams and the total prize money spread between the 4 divisions. As the name of tournament suggests, there is a focus on ethnicity, and the aim is for each team to be made up of one nationality. Music lovers will scream joy to the world and know what love is when a trio of iconic classic rock artists play Whitianga this weekend. There will be nothing else left to do go crazy when Heart, Foreigner and Three Dog Night perform at the new Whitianga Waterways Arena this Sunday from 1 p.m. Presented by Greenstone Entertainment, it's part of a summer series which sees the 3 legendary bands play Taupo Saturday, Whitianga on Sunday, then Queenstown the following week. Elephant publicist Beck Mataliti says the bands were currently in Taupo preparing for tomorrow night, and while suffering jet lag, they were very happy to be in New Zealand. Now for our region's weather for Saturday. Fine with a hot afternoon and light winds. Your expected high is 29 and an overnight low of 14. The same for the rest of the Waikato, fine with a light winds and it's heating up in the afternoon. Paeroa 26 and 16, Matamata 25 and 13. Te Ao Mutu you can expect a high of 27 and an overnight low of 14, and Tokoroa 25 and 11. Tauranga fine with light winds and sea breezes for you. Your expected high is 26 and an overnight low of 17. The rest of the Bay Plenty is exactly the same, fine with light winds. Te Puke, your expected high is 24 and an overnight low of 13. Looking to the marine forecast now. West coast, Waikato. Southeast 15 knots, changing to a northeast 15 knots north of Te Rau Point, easing to 10 knots, southwest swell 1 metre offshore. High tide is 1:12 a.m. East Coast Bay Plenty, variable 5 knots, north 10 knots developing for a time in the afternoon and early evening. The sea is slight and mostly fine spells out there. High tide is at 10:14 a.m. Just ahead after the break, last year was a world first and it's back again. Jet sprints inside a stadium. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Last year there was a world first. There was jet sprinting inside a stadium. It's back again this year, and this time it's on for 2 days. Jet sprinting is a unique sport that involves crews of two racing individually against the clock through a series of twists and turns in water, only 50 to 70 centimetres deep. I caught up with the former world champion to find out how the sport originated.
Well, it was really guys running up and down the river in their race boats, jet boating and river marathon racing. And then one time the river got flooded and they all thought, well, hey, let's do some time trials, and started off just going around logs in the river, and then they decided they'll do time trials a bit more often, and then the boats got more suitable for that sort of racing, and kind of originated from that way back in 1980.
Where is jet sprinting now on a global scale?
Well, I guess we've got, we did some demonstrations over in England, and we've Australia, America, and a little bit of Canada. And there's some people from Dubai pretty interested, and of course New Zealand. So yeah, it's starting to grow.
These things do go fast, I mean big time fast. Is it just a case of pulling an engine out of a car and chucking it in a jet boat?
Yeah, pretty much more like pulling out a dragster motor and putting it in a 13-foot boat. And that's pretty much what it's like. There's total traction, there's no wheel spin, so you get from 0 to 120k, 130k very, very quickly, less than 2 seconds.
And what about the boats themselves? Are they normal, regular speed boats?
Yeah, there's all sorts of variations in jet units, but the main ones we run are Scott Jets from down in Christchurch, so pretty much everything's made in New Zealand, right from the steering wheel to the end of the jet unit. And
so how fast can these things go?
Well, they're not really built for top speed because they're short, so they're made to turn as well, so you've got to kind of get them good a moderation between the two. So top speed probably 125, 130k, but as I said before, you'll do that in 100 metres. But you've got to be able to turn at that speed as well. It's a little bit like going down your hallway at 100 mile an hour and turning into the bathroom without backing off.
It sounds like it costs quite a bit. Is it a rich man's sport?
It's about how much you want to spend. There's a class that we start off in, the 400 class, and that's a very affordable race. I mean, you're not wearing out gearboxes, tyres, engines. Well, you're wearing out engines, but as far as transmissions and tyres and lots of fuel, it's relatively cheap from a motorsport perspective. It's all about how fast you want to go is how much you can spend.
And you've actually come out of retirement to race here tomorrow, so why now?
Well, the motivation to come out of retirement for this particular event is as you can probably see around you, it's a big amphitheatre, and it's pretty amazing to do it here. I've always said that I would defend my world title, which I'm going to do that, and that's later this year. So I was invited to drive at this event, and it suits me to get a little bit of wheel time before we do the world. So it's only really one event at this stage.
Former world champion, first time jet sprint track inside a stadium. What are you kind of predicting that would be the difficult parts to the track?
Oh, you name them. It's a short track and it's got some tight little corners in it. We just went for a burn around the outside of it for a sponsor's run, and you can certainly feel that it's not a wide open track, and if you're not concentrating, and it's going to catch you out. So it's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure.
And as the former world champion, what's your advice for those coming here to race tomorrow?
take it easy, have a look first. Do your first runs at a bit of moderation, and take it up on the straights, but be careful of those corners because they are tighter than you think.
Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you.
Your average jet sprint boat motor has so much power behind it that it could empty your average family swimming pool in 2 minutes. I chatted with two blokes involved with the sport to try and understand better the power behind these machines.
It's the biggest block in the southern hemisphere, so it's 11.7 litres of pure motor really. It drinks 20 litres of methanol in a minute run, which obviously is a lot of fuel in a very short time. So it's got 1,000 foot-pounds of torque as well, which obviously gives you some incredible acceleration. You're going 0 to 120 kilometres in 1.5 seconds and pulling up to 4.5, 5 Gs around corners. So I mean, it's pretty amazing. She's a thrilling ride, that's for sure.
Did you say 0 to 120 in how many seconds?
1.5, yep. Pretty amazing. In fact, they're quicker than anything. A dragster, I mean, leave it for dead. Not built for top end speed, they're built for just sheer acceleration.
Now, Brian, what is methanol? Why methanol?
Methanol for these motors to keep them running cooler, and it's a fuel that's virtually like got supercharged. You know, you can get so much more power out of it and cleaner burning. Yeah.
So what is this? I mean, this is the biggest exhaust pipe I've ever seen in my life. What goes into it?
Yeah, no, all your exhaust gases come through here into the headers, and then you've got your fuel injection, magneto, dry sump set up here with the tank and everything. It's certainly a cool machine, that's for sure.
So how much gas is going into one? How much can it take in one go?
We're only holding 22 litres on board, so we don't, I mean, it's all power to weight ratio, so you don't want to be carrying a lot of extra weight. I mean, everything counts really. So we run it pretty lean. You can't run on the trailer for too long or you won't have enough for your run.
And I heard before that you guys refuel after every single lap.
Yep, in fact, you only got 22 litres in there, and you're running close to 20 litres for that run, so you have to fuel every time you're coming out. And obviously we've got an hour in between runs sort of thing in your qualifiers, and then it closes up. But this trailer's actually got 160 litres on board, so we can actually fuel up from the trailer. We're not actually having to carry anything, so it makes it all pretty streamlined.
Does that make it a bit of a rich man sport? I mean, that's a lot of fuel, and fuel prices are quite high at the moment.
Well, it's actually cheaper than petrol, so believe it or not, it's actually not that expensive, and you're doing 8 runs in a meeting, so I mean, you're talking $2 a litre. It's not overly expensive to actually run. I mean, your costs actually come in getting to the sport and other things, to be fair.
So tell me a little bit about this boat. How's this boat treated you so well?
It's been a great hull. I mean, it's just a good boat. I mean, I had an older one prior to this, and this is a couple of years old now, but it just handles well. I mean, it turn on a dime, and I mean, as I say, the acceleration, the whole package. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It is a cool weapon.
Why green?
Green's my favourite colour, and the colour is actually poison ivy, which is actually the name of the boat as well. So.
So that's the colour, that's the boat, that's the shell. What about actually inside? You know, who built this motor?
Craig Hyland built the motor for us, Engine Dynamics. I mean, he's built an incredible machine. I mean, it really is. It's quite something. And we just over time keep adding bits and making it more and more powerful, and gets lighter as well, because as I say, powder weight obviously makes a difference. So we've just chipped away at it, and over the last 3 years built an amazing motor.
It takes 3 years to build a motor.
No, we've just chipped away at it, we've added parts, and it's just had a new head on it.
Stay tuned, as after the break, the man behind it all. Welcome back to Central News. Last year in Bay Park, there was a world first at Bay Park Stadium. It was the first time there was a jet sprint competition held inside a stadium. The organisers even won an award for their courageous idea. I spoke with the man who dreamt up the whole crazy thing. Now, Leighton and Kelly, husband and wife team, car rallying has got a navigator, Jet Sprints has a navigator. Is it quite similar, the navigator's job?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, rallying is very similar to jet sprinting. Everything's happening so fast, 1.2 seconds, 130 k's. So yeah, we're a real team, 100%. If I can't hear Kelly or see the hand waving, generally we're up the crappers ditch.
It's kind of like car rallying. You've got teams of two, you've got a navigator. Is it the same with jet sprinting? Does the navigator do the same job?
Absolutely. Rallying and jet sprinting is very similar. Yeah, obviously with rallying you don't really know what corner's coming up next, and the same with jet sprints. It's all happening so fast. You 100% need your team member. That hand and hearing, being able to hear through the helmets is key to our team's success.
How do you hear each other through your helmet?
We've got rally helmets actually, just as well you speak about it. We actually run a WRC helmet, and they've got earmuffs built in, so they're very high tech. I mean, I'd rather hear Kels screaming out, go faster or go left or go right, than actually have the hand waving in my. You'll have a look at a lot of the boats out here, and a lot of the navigators actually use their hand to let the person know what corner's happening, but Kelly is more using a voice, which suits me down to the ground.
You are a husband-wife team. Does that create some interesting dynamics?
No, not at all. As long as he's listening to me, there's no problem. No, we actually, it is about team, and we thoroughly enjoy what we're doing, and we're just, if anything, you sort of become closer for it and with it, and have our moments obviously as you do, but that's racing, and just love it.
So there's none of that stereotypical backseat driver stuff on your way home?
No.
She tries, but I don't listen then. Anytime
I just blame him, he's got the steering wheel, so.
Now you two are quite good at this, so where are you currently ranked?
We are up the top. We're current world champions in the superboat class, so we're very chuffed with that. So we're heading off to the States in August to obviously try and defend our title. And at the moment we're 2NZ, and the battle's on here. We want to go away this weekend with the winners flag, so she's all on. Hero Zero, we say.
And what was your winning time with that?
For the Worlds?
Yeah.
They're different tracks that we set. From memory it was about 47 or 48 seconds. That was down in Featherston at one of them. There's two tracks we run, and the competition's fierce. As you can see this weekend, there's a lot of teams from Australia and all around New Zealand from the deep south, and they're big spenders. The green boat over the side there's $250,000 coming up against racing it. So these guys spend some pretty serious coin.
Why did you guys want to get into the sport?
It was something we can do together, but Kelly's probably better to answer that one. We used to race bikes, but
we used to both race sidecars. So Leighton had his own bike, and then I was with an all-female team, and we were both swingers as such. And then Leighton got it. Leighton actually had quite a bad accident at the cemetery circuit, and then sort of got into jet sprinting after that, and just it's something we can actually do together,
You've got a roll cage around us, which is really good this time, whereas the old motorbikes didn't. Lost to break a few bones on that one, so kind of nice to be in a full roll cage, and the safety crews that we have out here.
They're amazing.
It's incredible what they're trained to do. So it's sort of this style of sport, although it's very extreme and very fast and very harsh, the safety side we are really, really big on. And you might pay for it, but these guys are professionals, and we've got our faith in them. If something goes wrong, we've seen them get it right real fast.
And as a racer, that's what you want, and you just completely trust them and know that they'll be there if something goes wrong. So, and they are,
Learn to hold your breath.
What What does go through your mind when you're racing? Like, does anything go through your mind, or is it all just adrenaline and once you stop you kind of think about it?
Just adrenaline, really.
It's adrenaline, you know, when you get down
Yeah,
to
it's
the
a big
tin
buzz.
tacks.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of times I've said to Kelly, well, you know, you better hang on because she's hero zero. That sort of means we crash or we'll make it. So, yeah, she's been good. She says righto. Yeah, so you just gotta trust each other, trust the machine, and trust the safety crews if you don't make it. So, I suppose the word is trust. There's the key name of the day. Yeah, so that's good.
Now, all this is your ideation.
Yeah, it was. It's really surreal. It was really neat to get in the car 3 days ago. You know, having Matt and Pip and Ingrid. You know, everyone's been involved since 2.5 years ago. We came here for the first meeting and sat down at the table and discussed the potential of having a jet sprint in the stadium. And you know, the team here at ASB have been behind us 100% the whole way. You know, we've had to do everything right and correct and get engineers' reports and things, and that's to the credit of the stadium and the facility you've got here. What I'm really hoping and what we're already seeing with ticket sales thus far is that we've got a extreme you know, event, all these seats, all these people, all these facilities. I think you're going to have a show that we can bring to town every year and potentially have the next World Cup meeting here, and that would be the holy grail. So, you know, for Tauranga, get behind it, Tauranga people, get down here. It's worth getting out. I think you're going to go home with a smile. Even down to the commentator, the Australian, he's an absolute classic, caveman. He'll have people in stitches all day. So come on down.
You guys are racing tomorrow, so are you getting quite nervous?
Yeah, not really. We don't really get too worried about it. You know, we've been to a lot of meetings. At the end of the day, we race to enjoy it, and we race it to do it together. And we've got a lot of cups in the cupboard, so you know, from here on in, it's have fun, and that's the key word. And if we can do that as a team, and we meet some wonderful people, wonderful families that race from all around the world, and they're coming here that we might only see them once a year. Well, they've flown here or coming here for this weekend, so we sort of see it as a big reunion and a big race.
The event is on over 2 days this year. It's on Saturday and Sunday, and gates open from 3 p.m. That is the news for today and this week. Email us and like us on Facebook. Send us a message about something interesting happening in your community. I will be back next week with more stories from our regions. I'm Hilary Entwistle. I hope you have a lovely evening and a fantastic long weekend.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.